Welcome to the BobKast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and the Kokomo BobKats are coming off of a week where they won 2 of their 3 games. They had 1 game in Memorial last week, but this week they have 2, and we'll definitely touch on that during today's show. To my right, like always, is the head coach of the BobKats, who also was named the TBL Best Dressed Coach of the Week, Mr. Chandler Livingston-Simon. We have been trying to get Chandler to win this award and even putting things out on social media that may have helped him win that award. Chandler, how does it feel to get an award that your dad hasn't won yet?
Oh, that's great. That's great. We talked and, he kind of just brushed over it a little bit, but, it's okay. Well, I'm going to keep bringing it up. I might shoot him a couple texts here and there consistently with that picture and there, hey, I won it, you didn't.
And to his right, I believe this is his first time ever being on the BobKast, not just this season, but in the duration and time period of the show being out there. It is TJ Henderson from Indianapolis, and TJ has been a part of the BobKats for a few years. Did you ever think Chandler would win Best Dressed Coach of the Week?
I tell you what, they caught me by surprise. He was going hard, though. Congratulations to my boy.
Man, you gonna take this?
Yeah, that's okay. The amount of assists that, I given him, we're good. The amount of passes, we're cool at this point.
TJ is from Indianapolis, and I am used to live in Indianapolis, so the basketball scene down there is one that I know a good deal at the high school level, but I don't know much about Cecina basketball, though, where you played your high school basketball. Yeah. What was it like playing basketball there at Cecina?
It was good, man. It was good. We had a really good team. My senior year, I actually transferred in from Tinley, so I started at Cecina my junior year. My senior year, we had a really good team. We ended up losing in our sectional championship to Park Tudor, but we kind of knew that whoever won that game was kind of going to win state, and that's what happened. Park Tudor ended up winning state that year.
Was that the year they had Blewett?
That was the year after, so they had Bryce Moore and Jaron Jackson.
Okay, so I remember those names. I know Blewett was there the year before. From what you said, I'm like, man, he was so good, man.
Yeah, stud.
You played against him, I assume, the year before.
Yep.
What was it like? How tough was he?
Made every shot it felt like.
Did.
A lot of threes. He's tough. Super tough.
We don't normally talk about you playing high school basketball.
No.
What we talked about last week was Chicago versus Houston basketball, and that got a little heated between Joe and Trey, how they didn't appreciate the things you had to say, Little H and all that.
Chicago was a little grittier.
They didn't like it, man.
Yeah, I don't know too many dudes from Houston that's like that either, though. So.
And that's all he said. He literally said, based on these 2 athletes, he went on and made a comment about them and used them for the Houston basketball. But you really don't know many guys from Houston that are hoopers like that?
No, I don't know too many guys from Houston. I know Texas, they got some good football out there. But as far as basketball, I don't know too much about that either.
But you know the basketball scene in Chicago at the high school level. What's that like?
It's competitive. You got, the powerhouse teams also, too, because they got the rules now where you can transfer within if you live within city limits, you can transfer whatever city you want or whatever school you want. It's just a matter of getting there and doing all that stuff. So it's kind of like the NCAA rules, but already in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, but because back when I played, the conference I played in, we produced a whole bunch of guys. We had Brandon Paul, who played at Illinois, and also for the Spurs. We had, what's his name, went to Ohio State. Linzel Smith. We had Darius Paul, who was on the team for a little bit.
Okay.
Had me, had Jalen Brunson, who was my teammate. We had it's so many guys. Oh, Keem Springs also was in the conference too at that point too. Who was on the team. There was so many guys that came out from that area, and that's just the suburbs. So it's definitely real competitive and real. I think Chicago's probably got top 5 in terms of NBA players produced.
Top 5.
I think in terms of quantity and quality.
I am too.
Very interested.
I would say honestly, from Chicago, there's probably more than the whole state of Indiana.
Chicago is no Indy.
Don't
let them fool y'all.
Who's your guys' best player right now in the league?
Right now in the league?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. We got E.G., Eric Gordon.
Okay.
We got Jaren Jackson.
Okay.
We got Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
Yogi was in there. Farrell.
He's in the league still?
Nah, not no more.
Right now.
What do you think? Mike Conley. He about to mess around and get a ring, too.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you Mike.
Odin should be in the league, bro. I'm still hurt about him. The boy was like that.
Oh, yeah, no. So him and my brother used to work out together in a barn out
Zionsville.
Yeah, Zionsville. Yeah, that barn in Zionsville, yeah.
I used to train there.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I used to go out there when I was like 10, back before like was the 04-05 draft with my brother, because him and Mike Conley were like real cool, and then same thing with Greg.
Mm-hmm. See, we got some guys out there.
I'm not debating you, just, you know.
What y'all got other than AD? D-Rose? Talk to
Really?
me. Keep going.
You were like historically, or you just?
I'm just wondering who's in the league right now. That's what you just asked me?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Who's
that's
in
fair.
the league right now from
That's
Chicago?
fair. We got Brunson.
Brunson. I don't know how I forgot about him.
I mean, we just mentioned him.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to go through team by team in my mind right now.
Okay.
Who else we got?
It's getting spooky.
Stop it.
It's getting spooky.
I mean, you mentioned the older guys. So I will say it was a lot more older guys that were in the league from Chicago. Right now, we also got Max Christie. He's in the league. He's from Downers Grove, from the suburbs. Yeah.
Okay.
He I'm trying to think. What's his name? Young dude. Is it DJ? Not DJ Wagner. Played it.
He's still in college.
Yeah. No, he went back to because I know he was talking about he was going to leave. There's so many dudes from Chicago.
What we getting is Indy basketball is better.
Don't do that.
We're not even gonna do Indiana.
Don't do that.
Just Indy right now. Indy versus Chicago. Indy is better. I used to have this
First of all,
argument with my teammates.
most of y'all players that come out of that play for your college teams are from Chicago.
That's okay. From my college, yeah.
No. I'm talking about college. Valpo, we had 5 guys from Chicago when I played there. They still got 5 guys there.
That's because people from Indy, we be trying to get out. A lot of us trying to get out. For real though.
I mean, that's why we get out.
Val. That's basically Chicago.
Think about
that's
those
our-
players from
Okay.
Indiana.
I mean, you still got. I mean, you got Isaiah Thomas. You got every like. There's so many Sean Marion. The list
Sean
is.
Marion go?
He's from Chicago.
Okay, never mind. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many people.
Oh, Jeff Teague just retired too. I wasn't even gonna say him because he's not playing no more. But Jeff Teague just retired too. Right around the corner from the crib too.
And Jeff Teague was cold.
Man, menace. Still is though, but menace.
I mean, we're gonna talk about people that are kind of retired. I mean, Derrick Rose.
He's still playing. He's still.
He's still in the league, but I said somewhat retired because the whole article came out like a month ago talking about he was retired.
Nah, he said he was gonna play though. He said he's still playing.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
D-Rose my guy. I still love you.
How are you semi-retired?
I don't know where he's playing right now.
I don't either.
Exactly.
He's not on the team right now.
That's my point.
It.
Like he's kind of semi, like that kind of.
It was floating in the air.
Yeah.
That possibility.
Yeah. I'm curious every time I think about Indy basketball and Chicago basketball. I think it's always going to be a debate right there between Indy being better or Chicago being better because you've seen how crazy it gets here at Memorial Gym. That's all over the state. But Indianapolis basketball, it's different.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
I say this. I've always said this though. Instead of we do the Indiana versus Kentucky.
Yeah.
I always felt like it should be
In Chicago.
yes.
Yeah.
Or Illinois, but Indiana versus Illinois.
Dude, Kentucky dudes really aren't all that.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not trying to smash them. I've been at those games before.
They love
It's a blowout,
basketball,
bro.
but it's not.
It's not. No.
It gets
No,
bad.
no. Kentucky loves basketball, but I don't think it's.
The talent just they got some
They got
guys.
some guys,
They've
yeah,
had
they got some guys.
Yeah.
they've
But
had
it's
some
not
guys.
the-
It's not on the same.
Yeah. That's fair. That's valid. I mean,
always
also
said that.
Patrick Beverly as well too.
Yeah, that bad.
Hold on. He from Chicago?
West Side.
He act like he from Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see what he did in that?
Menace. Menace.
Black Air Force Ones, the original, the OG Black Air Force
Menace.
Ones.
Menace.
Oh man, I forgot what the Black Air Force Ones.
Yeah, them
is,
shoes
man.
Barber playing.
Oh no.
Menace.
Oh man.
That's my dog. Though. That's my dog though.
What kind of shoes do you play in?
Right now I'm playing in the Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
A's, yeah. But I think my favorite ones to play in are the Giannis his first ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You?
Depends on what feels good at that, because really all the shoes I liked were from 2010 to like 16.
Okay.
Were like my favorite period
Yeah.
of like shoes that came out.
Yeah.
So like I like the Paul George 2.5s. I love those.
Comfortable.
Yeah. Was it the Hyperfuse? The Hyperfuse.
Oh, them little hyper thing.
Yeah.
Dunks, Hyperfuse.
Those were real comfortable. I'm trying to think what else. There's a few other ones that I really liked. I like the Kyrie. Was it Kyrie 3s? Yeah.
I had the ones, and those weren't comfortable.
Before they
They weren't comfortable.
No.
So like they got real narrow after 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
4s and 5s were just narrower, and I'm like, man, it just doesn't. Then it's not a big man shoe at that point. If it's not, if it's have no space in the toe, and then on top of it, like everybody's taking their shoes down to being low tops.
You don't wear low tops. You wear low tops? Really? So we had a conversation about this last week. Low tops versus, was it last week?
Yeah.
Low tops versus high tops or mids. I'm always going mid or high. Probably more mid than high because high gets too uncomfortable on the leg. But I couldn't do low tops, man. I really couldn't. I'd be afraid of rolling an ankle.
But that's gonna happen regardless, though.
No.
I don't.
I'm be honest
I
with
don't
you.
roll my ankle in high tops.
I roll
my ankle in low tops.
That's fair.
But you got more protection.
Do you really though? Does that mean, you feel me? You think that material on your shoe is really gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I
Little
done did it in both, so I don't stand by that no more. I'm gonna keep my lows on.
That's fair.
I feel like I'm moving them.
That's when you make them dance.
That's when I make them dance.
Oh my gosh. What do you have a move that you like to do like out on the court to kind of set somebody up? See, I'm talking about dancing and setting people up and things like that. What's kind of your go-to?
So, to be honest, I feel like I kind of just play off instincts. It gets to a point I'm gonna get to my hang dribble, and then it kind of unlocks my bag from there. I like to pull. I like three, so I do my hezzy pull, and then you feel me, kind of go from there.
I was not trying to look at his shirt, but he unzipped his jacket, and
You don't like that?
no, I love it.
TJ Henderson, the salsa king.
Oh man,
He's silly, ain't he?
oh man,
He's silly, ain't he?
it's like a team shirt. Everybody has one.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
This was the Cinco de Mayo special.
Ooh, hey, man, you can make some money off that.
Look at you one.
You do. I know it's him being funny, but you do need to rock one. Just wear it one day during warm ups.
Salsa king. That's why you catch him hit this one occasionally. After he makes somebody dance a little bit.
I do want to see that though. Like one game,
I got
warm ups.
I'll
I'll get him one this week.
We'll
Okay.
make it happen.
Like I literally I just finished the design this past week.
Okay.
So,
Hey, how does you played in big gyms in high school? Sectional championships and stuff like that. Not sure exactly where you played. I know high school gyms outside of Indianapolis are bigger for the most part than Indianapolis.
Yeah.
What was your first thought when you stepped inside Memorial for the first time to play a game?
It's a shooter's gym.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I love the rim. I love the rims at Memorial. I love the rims at Memorial. It's a good feel there. It's not too bright. But it's not too dark either.
Yeah.
So it's a good feel in Memorial.
yeah, he played real well the first time he played there.
Yeah, I did.
He gave the BobKats
I did.
some trouble.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did.
One of those nights.
Yeah, because this was back when he was playing for Indy.
Right.
Express. So, yeah.
Nah, I've had some.
I was actually there for that game.
I've had some games in Memorial. Some real memorable games.
Because that was the series I came back to help out. I was just practicing with the guys.
Yeah.
So I watched it. But
I've had some fun times in Memorial. We've had some fun times in Memorial.
yeah.
What are some of those fun times? What moments stick out in your head?
So like he said, one of them, my first game coming there when I was with Indy. One that sticks out to me the most is when we played New Albany at Memorial. That game was rocking. Let me think. Who was we playing when Duck made his game winner? I Forgot. That was a good
was
one.
it Darrington and them?
I don't think it was Darren. All Americans. The All Americans.
Okay.
It was All Americans. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Man, we've had so many, but those really kind of stick out to me the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
You? What games stick out in your head?
Kitchener one.
Okay.
That was a good one.
Okay.
The KW Titans came and played us. Because that was one thing we didn't like. So we lost up there in Canada, but I think we were one of the only teams that year that split with all the Canadian teams.
Okay.
We played. So like they came down and played, and it was.
Yeah. That was right.
They thought it was gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think what other games. One of those definitely one of those playoff matchups against Darrington and Albany was a fun one. Also, too, Lebanon. Was it like 3 years ago?
Lebanon's always fun though.
Not the before the playoffs though. That last one we had them at home before the playoffs.
Trying to remember.
That was a good one.
So we've had some good ones versus Lebanon.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, my favorite one was the one when my dad broke out the hospital.
Broke
Who
out
were
the
we
hospital.
playing that day?
Lebanon. It was at Lebanon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Somebody.
I gotta hear this. I broke out the hospital. This man sounds crazy.
So he went into the hospital. He was having some health stuff going on.
Yeah.
And they had him in there, and he was not prepared to like not be there for the week.
Right.
And my sister came in town. Like everybody came in town, make sure it was good, everything. And he basically convinced the nurses to let him leave for 2.5, 3 hours. I'm gonna come right back. And then he shows up around. I think we were down like 8, and then he showed up around like the 7-minute mark in the second quarter. And everybody because everybody was asking, "Where's your dad? Where's your dad? Like, what's going on?" Da, da, da. He gets a standing ovation from their crowd, our fans, their fans, everybody in the gym. The refs are even clapping.
Cliff.
He gets then and he just comes and sits down on the bench. He's like, "I'm just here. I'm here to be with you guys." And then we just got active after that. I think we ended up winning by like 15, 20 points that game.
He let him in a lot. Had to put that out there. Sorry.
Don't apologize. Just
Never mind. I'll take it back then. I'm not sorry. Get better.
this past week, speaking of Lebanon, on that note, y'all smacked them.
Yeah, we did.
It was a 121-100. Came back later on that weekend, lost at Pontiac, and then beat Glass City to end up last week, winning 2 of the 3 games y'all played. The game against Lebanon, I know there's a belt that goes back and forth. Currently, it's here. Do those games get more amped up than other games?
Always. And like I said, they got us the game before. I think it was a week before they got us, so we owed them one. So we came in with a different mindset. We were locked in from the start, and we tried to let it be known that they weren't ready for us.
How do you approach those games against Lebanon?
I focus on basically the closeouts
Okay.
because they lead the league in 3-point attempts.
Okay.
They also lead the league in 3-point makes as well. But it's one of those things like that's my main focus is getting guys to understand like they can shoot. A lot of teams in the league aren't necessarily like full of shooters, but they definitely are.
They can shoot and they will shoot.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the BobKats, I mentioned it with you a while ago, was the community aspect. The BobKats are out in the community doing different things. I saw you guys out at the YMCA recently, and then before the show even started recording, you guys were out at Western Middle School, and you were there for that too. Chandler, let's go with you first, and then we'll get to TJ here in a second. But Chandler, what was that experience like going to Western Middle School?
Oh, it was cool. Kids definitely were excited and they enjoyed us, and we enjoyed being there. It's definitely a good time.
The same. It's good going back to different schools, man. It feels like it's a lot different.
Yeah.
From when I was in school.
Yeah.
But it was definitely fun.
I know. With that smile and look at your face, you're like, man, I'm not as small as I used to be.
Man.
I'm not roaming the hallways like I used to. Man, I can do whatever I want. I ain't got to ask you to go to the bathroom.
It's different. It's different. It's definitely different.
Plus, the kids are just different too. There's a different time.
Social media
Yeah.
era.
I was talking to somebody about social media at work because this guy at my other job, he ends up he just had a kid. And so I know you had a kid recently as well, and I know you have a daughter.
Yeah.
And so he's talking about, man, he's like, man, I don't want to grow up and raise my kid in social media era. It's crazy. It's insane. But it's one of those things where it's like we just got to figure it out. I'm having my first child in July, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I'm like, man, I used to use social media in a different way than I used to. I was I'm still about it now, but got to be very, very smart about how much and how often I am using it. I couldn't imagine TJ being a kid now with social media at my fingertips every single day and knowing how it's going to dictate my actions, but also how I think about the future and the world currently. I could imagine that.
I mean, for me, I was sheltered from a lot of things that, in my opinion, at a certain age, you're not supposed to know about these things. They can see these things that I was sheltered from at a young age, and it kind of forces them to grow up faster than they need to sometimes.
Dog, it's crazy.
In my opinion.
It's crazy. We were talking to Brandon Wood about the mixtape era.
Yeah.
About how before social media,
Good times.
he said the same thing. Like he enjoyed the time period that he grew up in, but also the way he was raised. I'm going to ask you a question I asked Kim, and Chandler was here for that conversation. What was it like growing up? I know social media was a thing, but the highlight reels weren't a thing on social media, but you had to kind of have that mixtape.
Yes.
And someone to get that mixtape made for you. What was that area of basketball like when you were growing up?
It was kind of like, it's like you had to earn it. You had to get your name out there. Everybody wasn't getting a mixtape. I didn't get a tape until, like a real one, until maybe my junior year of high school. So like now kids, they getting them second, third, fourth grade. And now, I mean, it's about $1. That's all it's about. But I think, social media is kind of taking over youth sports and just youth in general.
Yeah.
The AAU scene is one I see a lot of dads, or even people that are even mid-20s, or even early 20s. They're like, man, I don't even like AAU basketball anymore. To me, it's wild because I never played AAU basketball. I never played basketball past intramurals in high school. Like I'm not that guy. But I was like, man, okay, cool. Like AAU is fun. You guys traveling around. But now people, Chandler, are saying AAU basketball is ruining how young kids are developed. And it sounds like you agree.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's just like, all right, we're going to roll the ball out. We're going to just have some kids. And then also, too, a lot of these bigger programs, it's a money grab.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we've got 10 teams at this level. We really only care about 3 of them. The other 7 are here just to make us money. Because it's like, these are the ones that are paying, and the other 3, they're basically paying for those other 3. It's like one of those things. It's like that type of. It's kind of watered down at that point. And also too, everybody's playing AAU.
Yes.
Literally.
It's not like, okay, you have for your area, you may have 2 teams. That's it. So it's either you're going to be on this team over here, or you're going to move this program over here. They're rival programs. And there's only 24 spots in your area. So you guys better figure out who's good, who's bad, things like that. You better come ready. Because realistically, if everybody can't play. And everybody's not going to play. But, and also, too, there's also some parents out there that have some money. Yeah. And that are just like, hey, I'm going to put an inner team in. Because if you realize, if I had $2,000, I can just enter a team in.
Wait, it's that? I'm not saying it's not a lot of money, but I thought it would cost more than that.
Not for
very easy.
For like tournaments. Like if I just have the money, whatever it's $500 entry fee. If I have whatever the entry fee is, I just put a team together.
Certain tournaments, yes.
Yeah, just name it. Chandler's All Stars, and just grab 10 kids or grab 6 kids, and whatever I want, and just have them do whatever.
And I feel like that's not so much the money aspect of AAU. I don't like that there's really no practice. Because I've heard someone recently, and it may have been Jeff T. We talked about him before the show. Someone was talking about how throughout the whole entire season or summer, whatever period they're playing for this stretch, only had one practice. And it was at the beginning. Before they played a game, they got their team together, they had one practice, and then they went out there and played all the games with only one practice at the very beginning. Yeah. That doesn't even sound right to me. No. Because basketball, any sport, even a show, podcast, you got to practice. Only way to get better at something and to build chemistry is to practice. Yeah. And I would feel bad if I were a parent or even a coach saying, hey, we're going to roll y'all out here. Y'all don't know how to play together, but let's go out here and try and win. I would feel like I'm doing them a disservice by not putting them in the right situation for them to be successful.
Yeah. Like, I don't think my kids are going to play. Like, if I have any, like, my daughter, if I have any more kids, but they're not playing AAU. At least not until, like, there's a certain level of, okay, you've done X, Y, Z, and you have these fundamentals and this aspect, like, you understand this stuff. Because a lot of times people are just playing. They don't understand, like, and this is one thing my dad always says, like, hey, guys play the game, but they don't understand it.
Yeah.
And there's no level of understanding because there's no teaching. And it's just like, all right, go play. So all they understand is put the ball in the basket or stop them from putting the ball in the basket, which is the simplest concept for basketball, but you need more. There's more things that go into it. So,
TJ, do you think you had tougher competition in high school at Cecina or at Tinley or playing AAU ball?
AAU definitely, competition-wise.
Yeah.
But I'll go like this. My experience with AAU was a little different. I played for a team that we practiced 2 and 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we traveled. We had a good chemistry. I played with the same AAU team since I was, I think, 6th grade. So
That does seem different.
You know what
from
I mean?
what we normally hear.
yeah, AAU was different 10 years ago.
yes.
The whole scene was just different.
It depends on the program. It depends on the team.
Yeah.
Every program isn't run the same.
Yeah.
So I had a good experience with AAU.
Okay.
But now I'll see videos, fans on the court jumping around. I think I saw it yesterday. Like,
Parents fighting refs and stuff.
Yeah,
It's just like, all right, what are we doing here? First of all, your kid's not going to get a scholarship anyways. So what are we talking about? Your son is dangerously average.
I wasn't even gonna go that far.
No, but
that's a fact, though.
Like, your son is dangerously average. Let's be honest here.
That's true.
He's maybe 6 foot, and that's being generous. What are we talking about here? And you're really ready to risk it all and fight refs and assault people? Somebody that's really just trying to get a check and just be there and go home?
Yeah, I did. I saw that the other day.
Like stuff like that, it blows my mind. Like the grand scheme. Also, too, you just hurt your kid because now you're known as the crazy dad.
Mm-hmm. That's on the internet forever.
Yeah.
It's not going nowhere.
Well, like, even if your kid does get in that position, you're still now. I mean, you look at LeVar Ball. He got labeled as crazy or overparented and things like that, and he just kind of was like there for his kids. He's very vocal about it, but he was just there for it. Like, he never did anything that was really outlandish.
Yeah.
Supported his kids.
Yeah.
Was the biggest cheerleader.
Man, the one thing about LeVar Ball was just he got a massive platform by supporting his kids, and he was on TV. I don't think he was that crazy. I never saw him at games, so I was never there to see him.
It didn't seem like it, though.
But no. He was literally just a supportive dad that happened to be on TV, showing everybody in the world that he's supporting all 3 of his kids equally. Not 1, not 2, all 3 of them equally. And even I think it was at some point during the summer or sometime, they had kids at the house.
Yeah.
Feeding them, taking care of
The
them.
whole AAU team, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I don't like, he did do a couple things I don't agree with, but I don't agree with anybody on everything. So, like, I feel like me taking that approach with him and saying, oh, he's wrong, but no, he just did something I disagree with, which is cool. He is simply out here supporting his kids on a public platform.
He's just not shy about it.
No, not shy at all.
And I would say some of the stuff is marketing. Like, he
Oftentimes.
came up, I could be Michael Jordan one-on-one.
I bet you he don't believe that.
You played football.
He looks like a football player.
No, like, he played football overseas in, like, England or something like that. Yeah.
Trolling.
Yeah.
Right.
So at that point, like, that you're going to get people to, to believe that, oh, my son's better than this person, this person, this person. He may be, may not be, but, like, at this point, we don't know. I mean, he willed to the youngest one. He had it. Lonzo was probably going to get drafted regardless.
Yeah.
But I mean, he basically had it on people's minds where, hey, look at my kids. When you got they have the talent, because a lot of times the people fall through the cracks because they have the talent, but they don't get the exposure.
Right.
He got them kids exposure.
Exactly.
All of them.
Even Jello, even though he didn't.
Hey, that boy can shoot.
He'd have been in the league if he hadn't grabbed him sunglasses.
Yeah.
In China.
Overseas?
Yeah. If he hadn't got arrested in China, he'd been in the league.
That boy can shoot.
Because there's no way you can look me in my eye and tell me, what's his name from Milwaukee should be on an NBA bench.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The other brother.
That's the brother though. You feel me?
Nah, I don't care.
Giannis come with package.
Nah, I don't care, man.
He said the other brother.
That's it.
Yeah, he's just there.
Giannis come with some.
Do I think that he's
luggage.
probably, in terms of he probably is a great teammate. I can't say that. I mean, he's probably a great teammate. Does everything. He does his job, different things like that. But talent wise, do I really think that
I tell you what, he been hitting some moves this year. Hit a few of them.
he had to?
Sure did.
Like, I mean, they're just not really as good of a team as they once been. And like, you should get your coach fired about him saying that your brother isn't good enough. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It might be true. I mean, because really, that's the reason why he signed with Nike too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He would have taken the deal with Adidas or whatever was big. Like, story came out like 2 months ago that like the deal with some other shoe company was way bigger, but because they wouldn't give his brother a deal too, he wasn't gonna rock with him. And Nike was like, well, we'll throw him whatever it was. I don't know what the deal is, but we'll throw him some amount of money.
That seems silly.
Yeah.
I heard
I
that.
mean, I understand it. I understand like keeping it with the family.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the same thing with what Adidas did with D-Rose. D-Rose pays his brother. Or not D-Rose. Adidas pays D-Rose's brother still.
Why?
He handles stuff for him.
It's all in the contract.
I appreciate it though. Taking care of family.
Yeah,
I do appreciate that.
And that's I get it. I wholeheartedly do. But at some point, you're going to make yourself look bad trying to hold up, your brother who's not quite up to.
Yeah.
And like I said, D-Rose's brother does it right. He's just in the background. He handles stuff for him off the court because D-Rose is a real shy guy. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really talk to people. He's not. That's just who he is.
The narcissist is a little bit more vocal.
Yeah. When you're in the forefront, you put yourself out there. You got to be willing to take the criticism.
Yeah. You both put that your favorite place in Kokomo is Memorial Gym on the questionnaire you guys filled out at the beginning of the season. There's a couple games this week in Memorial Gym, downtown Kokomo. Going to go TJ first and then Chandler. There's a game, I think it's Friday, Saturday, Chandler. Mm-hmm. Help me out. Friday against Glass City, and then Saturday against West Virginia. Mm-hmm. Both games are 7:05 p.m. Eastern time. I want to say that now because we've had to do that over the past few weeks, just remind people the time of the tip-off. I wasn't there last week to see the crowd, or the past couple weeks. I'm not sure what the crowds were like. But I always want to remind the tip-off times of those games for people that maybe get their news from here on this show. TJ, what's your message to Bobcat fans to get fans to come out this weekend and watch you guys play?
Bobcat family, we need you.
Which cameras you looking at, Gabe?
Where am I at? Bobcat family, we need you. We looking forward to seeing you guys there, and we're going to put on a show for you.
Chandler, your turn.
Like he said, we need you guys. We're trying to make a playoff push, and honestly, there was ever a team to support.
That's the one.
Yep, this is the one.
I really appreciate these guys coming on the show. TJ Henderson from Indianapolis, Indiana, being on the BobKast for 3 years. Thank you for coming on the show for the first time, I believe. This is the first time on the BobKast. Look forward to hopefully having him back in the future. This right here in his Tijuana Henderson t-shirt, the Salsa King. That is Chandler Livingston-Simon. I am the host, Jay Stevens, of the BobKast. Hopefully I get a t-shirt the next time I see Chandler. We'll see you next time.